Have you ever felt like a woman was acting different around you, but you just couldn't figure out why? One moment, she's laughing at your jokes, leaning in close, giving you that look, and the next, she's quiet, mysterious, maybe even a little distant. What if I told you that women don't confess their feelings with their hearts first, they confess them with their words? You see, most men miss the signs because when a woman is developing real feelings for you, she won't say, I love you. Not yet. Instead, she'll start saying specific phrases, subtle, emotional, and deeply revealing. These 7 phrases are like psychological fingerprints, and once you recognize them, you'll never be confused again. In today's video, I'm going to show you the 7 powerful things a woman says when she's falling for you and what each one really means. This might just be the most valuable insight you've ever learned about attraction, so stay locked in. You've been there. Things are going great with a woman. She laughs at your jokes, texts you first, leans in close when you talk, and then suddenly she pulls back. She becomes quiet, less responsive, maybe even distant, and you're left wondering, what happened? This emotional roller coaster is confusing for most men. We're wired to look for clear signs, yes or no, black or white. But women, they're emotional creatures. Their feelings rise in waves, subtle, layered, and complex. And when they start developing feelings for a man, their internal world gets shaken. That's when the emotional confusion kicks in, not just for you, but for her to see. Falling in love makes a woman feel vulnerable. She wants to get close, but she also wants to protect herself. That's why she might get hot and cold. It's not a game. It's fear. It's uncertainty. She's trying to understand what she's feeling while figuring out if you're worth trusting with those feelings. This is the critical moment. Most guys mess it up by reacting emotionally, getting needy, chasing, or pulling away. But if you can stay grounded and calm, you'll rise above the confusion. You'll become the man who provides emotional clarity, not chaos. When a woman is emotionally confused, it's not a rejection, it's often a hidden invitation. She's testing whether you're man enough to hold space for her emotions. Understand that, and you flip the game in your favor. Women rarely say what they truly feel, especially in the early stages of attraction. And that's not manipulation. That's biology. Evolution has wired women to protect their hearts, to vet for the right man, to communicate indirectly before they fully open up. So instead of blurting out, I like you or I'm falling for you, she'll drop subtle clues in her words. This is hidden communication, the quiet language of interest, desire, and vulnerability that most men overlook. She might say something like, I've never told anyone that before. I feel like I can really be myself around you. You're different from other guys. Sounds casual, right? But to a trained ear, those words are loaded. They're not just compliments. They're tests. They're signals. They're her way of saying, I feel safe with you. I trust you. I'm starting to care more than I expected. When a woman says something deep, she's not just sharing for fun. She's watching how you respond. Are you emotionally available? Are you listening? Do you get the meaning behind the message? This is why emotional intelligence is your superpower. If you can learn to decode a woman's hidden language, if you can hear what she's really saying, you'll unlock her heart before any other man even knows the door is open. Most guys respond at the surface level, but if you can recognize and reflect her emotional depth, she'll feel something rare, see, heard, and emotionally connected. That's when feelings truly start to grow. Every woman reveals how she feels through her psychology, not necessarily through grand gestures, but through subtle behavioral patterns rooted in emotion, biology, and subconscious attraction. Psychologists have long studied the way people express love, and when it comes to women, there are 7 specific verbal cues that often use when they're catching feelings. These clues aren't accidental. They're emotional leaks, phrases that come out when her heart starts to override her mind. She might say things like, "I was thinking about you today. I feel like I miss you. Even when we haven't talked long, I don't know why, but I feel comfortable with you." Each of these phrases holds deep psychological meaning. When a woman feels emotionally safe, her words soften. When she feels attraction, she seeks shared experiences. When she's falling for you, she starts to future frame, talking about we instead of I. But here's the key: these clues aren't always obvious. They're often disguised in casual conversation. If you're not listening closely, you'll miss them. That's why emotional awareness matters. It's not just about reading her lips, it's about reading her mindset. Is she opening up, testing the waters, letting you in without saying it outright? These clues are gold. They tell you when she's emotionally investing, even before she realizes it herself. And once you can spot them, you'll have insight that 99% of men never develop. Remember, women don't fall for logic. They fall for emotional connection. And these psychological cues are the breadcrumbs that lead you straight into her heart. The sad reality is most men never see the signs. They wait for something obvious. They expect a woman to sit them down and say, "Hey, I like you, just so you know." But that's not how real attraction works. Women are intuitive. They don't express emotions in a straight line. They test, they hint, they reveal in pieces. And if you don't know how to read those pieces, you'll miss the entire message. You know what happens next. You say the wrong thing. You pull away when you should lean in. You chase when you should hold back. And slowly but surely, you lose her, not because you weren't good enough, but because you weren't aware enough. This is the biggest difference between the man she keeps thinking about and the one she forgets. The one who picks up on her signals and responds with strength, awareness, and calm. He's the one who gets inside her mind. It's not about being perfect. It's about being present, noticing the way her tone shifts, catching the deeper meaning in her words, and showing her that you're not like every other guy who only listens at surface level. Women crave depth. They want a man who can feel them without needing everything spelled out. If you can do that, she'll start seeing you as the kind of man who understands her in a way no one else ever has. And once she feels that kind of understanding, she won't want to let it go. Here's where everything changes. When you do understand these signs, you gain a serious advantage over 99% of men out there. While other guys are lost, confused, or making the same mistakes over and over, you'll be 3 steps ahead. You'll know when a woman is developing feelings. You won't have to guess, chase, or overthink. You'll simply observe her behavior, hear the subtle cues, and respond with power and confidence. Why does this matter? Because women don't fall for potential, they fall for certainty. They want a man who doesn't just understand them, but who understands himself. A man who can read between the lines and make her feel seen without her needing to explain everything. When you learn to recognize the 7 phrases women say when they're falling for you, you unlock a code that most men don't even know exists. And once you can speak her emotional language, you create safety, you build trust, you trigger a powerful emotional response in her that she can't explain, but she feels it deeply. This is the edge of the emotionally intelligent man. You're not chasing attraction. You're creating connection. You're not reacting to her moods, you're leading her through them. The moment you stop being surprised by a woman's emotions and start understanding them is the moment you become unforgettable. And that's the kind of man women crave. So what are these phrases? What are the 7 things a woman says when she's falling for you even before she fully realizes it? That's what we're diving into next. Each of these phrases has psychological depth behind it. They're not just words, they're emotional indicative signals that she's starting to attach, open up, and see you as more than just another guy. And the best part, once you know what these phrases mean, you can respond in a way that amplifies attraction. You can meet her in that emotional space and make her feel even safer, more desired, and more connected. This isn't just dating advice. This is next level masculine awareness. Because if you can pick up on the emotional shifts that most men ignore, you become rare. And in today's world, rare equals valuable. Women are tired of surface level men. They're looking for depth, for strength, for emotional intelligence wrapped in masculine energy. And if that's what you want to become, this video is exactly what you need. Stay with me, because I'm about to reveal each of the 7 phrases, break down their true meaning, and show you exactly how to respond to each one like a high-value man. What you're about to learn can transform the way women see you, feel about you, and open up to you. This is where the real connection begins. Right now, you have a choice. You can be like every other guy who skips over emotional cues, chases too hard, or pulls away too soon. Or you can learn the signals. You can become the kind of man who sees her before she even sees herself. If you've ever been ghosted, friend-zoned, or had a woman lose interest without knowing why, this video is going to give you answers, not just surface answers, but real psychological insight into how women express desire, attraction, and emotional vulnerability. By the time we're done, you'll have the full map, the 7 exact things women say when they're catching feelings, and the mindset you need to respond like a grounded, attractive man. So don't just watch, take notes, learn these phrases, replay them in your mind, because the next time you hear one of them in real life, you'll know exactly what's happening, and you'll know exactly what to do. This video could be the difference between another failed connection or finally building something real with a woman who's genuinely into you. Let's dive in. If you made it this far, you're not just a guy watching videos, you're someone who wants to grow. You're on a journey of becoming better, stronger, more self-aware, And that's rare. So respect to you. Before you go, I want to say this. May you attract a woman who truly values your presence. May you develop the strength to walk away from anything that weakens your spirit. And may you never settle for love that doesn't feel like peace. If this video helped you, do me a favor, like, subscribe, and drop a comment below. Tell me which of the 7 signs surprised you the most or what you'd like to learn next. And as always, stay grounded, stay focused, stay in your power, because the world needs more men like you. Peace, respect, and see you in the next one.